on our final project, the revision assignment. The revision assignment is kind of the last thing you're going to do for English 1010. There are two different options that you can choose from, and those options are really dependent upon how well you did on the research essay. Option 1 is revising to meet the requirements. If you did not earn a passing grade or a 70% on the research essay, you must choose option 1. It gives you a second chance at that research essay. Option 2 is for those students who did meet the requirements of the research essay and earned at least a 70% or higher. And those of you who did pass the essay will be revising for a new audience. So both options include a revision of some sort and a reflective justification statement. So everybody will do a revision and everybody will do a 3-page justification letter to explain why the revision is appropriate. Option 1 is revising to meet the requirements. If you scored below a 70% on Project 4, it means you have not yet demonstrated that you've mastered the course objectives for English 1010. So this option gives you another opportunity to master those course objectives. You need to revise your research essay, and when you revise your essay, you need to include at least 35% new writing. That means for a 6-page essay, at least 2 pages of the essay have to be completely new writing. Your revision should address big picture issues: thesis and argument, organization, sources and supporting evidence, exigence and audience. If you don't include at least 35% new content or writing, you will not earn credit. In addition to the revision, you need a reflection statement. This is where you write a justification letter addressed to the professor, and you explain why this is a substantive revision. You should include quotes or sections from the original essay and the revised essay as evidence. And most of all, you need to make a persuasive argument for why you have now met the course learning objectives. Be sure that you reference the objectives from the syllabus. If you turn in a revision without a justification letter, the entire project will receive a 0. So if you did get a 70% or higher on your project number 4 research essay, you could still do the revision and adjust your essay, but I would suggest that you do the revising for a new audience. This is a little bit more fun and creative, and you have a lot more options for what you're going to do. So again, you have to have earned a 70% or higher on project 4. So the revision for a new audience asks you to think about an audience that needs the information your research report covered that is not a traditional academic audience. You get to decide on the modality or type of document that would best suit that audience's needs. And you're going to present your argument, the same argument from your essay, but this time you're going to present it in a way that really suits your audience. So if you were talking to teenagers, they're probably not going to read an essay. They might view a TikTok video or click through a website. If you are talking to older people, they're probably not going to use a website. They might look at a newspaper article. So you can create any of the following: a small website, an informational YouTube video, a series of social media posts or infographics, an informational pamphlet, a newspaper editorial, or an infographic. If you have other ideas for your revision, contact me because I'm happy to talk them through with you. There's lots of different ways that you can approach this. It's really about thinking about how do you take the information and think more about a different rhetorical situation. So just like with option 1, option 2 requires a reflection statement. Once you've completed the revision, you write a justification letter, again, addressed to me, the professor. Just like option 1, the letter must be 3 pages. You should explain the reason you've chosen your new audience and how the modality you selected really fits that audience's needs. You should include quotes from the original and revised document as evidence and examples, and you should make a persuasive argument for the overall success of your revised project. So just like with option 1, there are some hints and tips here for before you write, plan in writing, and submission. And there's a list of minimum requirements. Please note that with option 2, you need to submit 2 separate files. You need the revised essay project in whichever modality you've selected and the justification letter. If, however, you are doing the revision to meet requirements, you need 3 files. You need to submit your original essay, your revised essay, and your justification letter. And you need to be very careful to label what each of those files is so that I can evaluate whether there is enough of a change in the revision. So the revision reflection process gives you a chance to kind of pause and see what you've learned, what you've accomplished, and if necessary, to kind of take a step back and meet the requirements you need to meet in order to move on to our next course. If you have any questions or need help, feel free to reach out by email or visit me during office hours.